Cody Rhodes pays tribute to the Elite after his victory in the men's Royal Rumble match this past weekend, with the Elite also referencing in their Twitter bios. A former WWE star makes his AEW debut during the Dark tapings at Universal Studios. Also an update on New Japan Pro Wrestling's footprint in the United States, announcing plans moving forward in the country. A Ring of Honor World Championship match has been announced for tonight's AEW Dark Elevation, and an AEW injury has led to a star pulling out of an independent wrestling appearance. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. Let's start off talking about a former AEW Executive Vice President, arguably the most high-profile person to leave AEW since the company's inception back in 2019. Of course, that being one of the founding members himself, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Of course, Cody Rhodes, the winner of the 2023 WWE Men's Royal Rumble match this past weekend at the Royal Rumble Premium Live events for World Wrestling Entertainment. And AEW's Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks have reacted to Cody Rhodes' homage to the Elite at the Royal Rumble this past weekend. As I mentioned, during Saturday's January 28 Premium Live event, Rhodes made his return to the ring in the Royal Rumble match as the 30th entrant. The former AEW Executive Vice President ultimately won the bout, last eliminating Gunther to punch his ticket to WrestleMania 39. Now, after he had that victory, he paid tribute to his former Bullet Club and Elite's brethren. You can see it right there on the screen. He gave a brief shout out to his friends following his victory, doing the Too Sweet and gun hand gestures before pointing at the WrestleMania 39 sign. Now, these gestures were commonly used by the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega respectively when the group would all wrestle together. Now, the Young Bucks have since reacted to Cody Rhodes' tribute at the Royal Rumble, posting this on their Twitter bio. You can see it right there on the screen. A nod back to the American Nightmare. They took to their Twitter to react to Rhodes in the same way they react to most things nowadays. Of course, that's using their Twitter bio. The current All Elite Wrestling stars and still current AEW Executive Vice President's bio now features emojis related to the hand gestures. Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks notably worked together to found All Elite Wrestling, and all four worked as Executive Vice Presidents following the launch. Of course, Cody Rhodes, he's not in AEW anymore. He's in WWE. He left the company last year. It was actually just over a year ago. I believe it was last weekend or last week when Rhodes worked his last match at Beach Break against Sammy Guevara in that ladder match to determine the undisputed TNT champion. Rhodes announced his AEW departure in February of 2022 before making his WWE return that April at WrestleMania 38. Meanwhile, in AEW right now, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they currently hold the AEW World Trios Championships. Now, Cody Rhodes actually revealed he wasn't actually cleared to wrestle in the Royal Rumble until the day of the show. We've covered that in depth in today's WWE news video. Be sure to check that out. I saw some people making a big deal out of this, saying, oh, look, see, AEW, it's all a big plan. No, it's just people are allowed to be friends in either companies. We saw Ricky Starks, an AEW talent. He was backstage at the Royal Rumble supporting his friend, his mentor, Cody Rhodes. Is it a big deal? Social media is trying to make it a big deal. It's really, really not. Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble, that's a big deal. Ricky Starks being backstage, Cody Rhodes doing a hand gesture, the Young Bucks reacting to it, that's not a big deal, but social media certainly would like you to think it is. Now, speaking of WWE, two former WWE superstars have made their AEW debuts at the recent AEW Dark TV tapings in Universal Studios. Now, at the January 28 taping, Brady Booker, who previously wrestled for WWE NXT as Bodie Hayward, scored a victory over Dak Draper in singles action. Booker confirmed he had been released by WWE in November last year, marking the end of his stint with the Chase University stable on NXT on USA Network. Now, what's quite interesting about this next one is that he is a former WWE superstar, but he's also been heavily rumored to be returning to WWE, and that's potential WWE target EJ Nduka, who was also in action at the taping after finishing up with Major League Wrestling. Now, we're not going to go into full spoilers or anything like that. He faced off against Konosuke Takeshita at the tapings. Won't say who won or anything like that. But nevertheless, certainly quite interesting because the general impression was that he was going to be returning to WWE. He was formerly in WWE, in NXT, never made it to the main roster, but was in NXT until 2021, was released, and has had significant success in Major League Wrestling since his WWE exit. And there was a general feeling, at least by most people, that he would be set to return to WWE. That was going to happen. Again, now we don't really know. Is this a sign that he's signed with AEW? Not really, because there have been several stars that appear at these All Elite Wrestling, particularly the Dark tapings, that aren't under contract. Heck, a lot of people appear during Dynamite tapings, and they're not even tied down to AEW contracts, and that's how they end up sometimes signing for WWE, like Dragon Lee. Now, it's a very good chance that EJ Nduka could end up signing with AEW, but also he could end up signing with WWE as well. So until we get any confirmation from that, we can only speculate. But of course, if we do get any confirmation that he signed a WWE contract or an AEW contract, we'll let you know here on the channel. Let's talk a little bit about New Japan Pro Wrestling and the plans for Strong going forward. Now, New Japan Pro Wrestling has now announced plans for its US brand moving forward. New Japan President Takami Abari recently confirmed that an announcement about the New Japan Strong brand was coming soon. The company has now announced a change to the way their US brand will work. All United States shows, including the weekly TV episodes and the pay-per-views, will be branded as New Japan Strong events. Certain pay-per-views were previously only under the New Japan banner without the Strong branding. A format change was also announced, with New Japan introducing Strong Live and Strong On Demand models. Previously, New Japan would hold special Strong tapings and have matches from the tapings air over the next 4 weeks before the next set of monthly tapings. Now, instead, New Japan will hold Strong Live events, which will essentially be pay-per-views airing in English on Fight or in Japanese on New Japan World Pay-Per-View. Matches from the event will air on future editions of Strong On Demand, essentially treating the Strong Live event as a taping. New Japan shared the following statement, quote, "Moving forward, all events from New Japan Pro Wrestling in the US will carry the branding of New Japan Strong. In addition, the weekly TV taping format of Strong will shift to a dual model, Strong Live and Strong On Demand. The first Strong Live event will be Battle in the Valley, on February 18 from the sold-out San Jose Civic, with Mercedes Moné versus Kairi for the IWGP Women's Championship, Fred Rosser defending the Strong Openweight Championship against Kenta, and Jay White and Eddie Kingston in a grudge match, and the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship also on the line. This immense card is a must-watch event for fans live in English on Fight or in Japanese on New Japan World Pay-Per-View. All this action will also be made available in March with New Japan Strong On Demand. Strong On Demand will see matches from Strong Live cards delivered in 4-part weekly basis through the month, as much as New Japan Strong has been to date. So basically, they're shifting away from, they're keeping the model they had previously, but they're expanding upon it, and you can watch it more of it live. Essentially, that's what they're doing. So good news if you're a New Japan fan based in the United States, or just that time zone's difficult. It's certainly a big move for New Japan. Now, New Japan noted that this change is to help fortify the New Japan Strong brand and to ensure that more fans pay attention to New Japan's US shows. Of course, it was launched during the pandemic and it had some traction, but not a lot. They're hoping with the likes of the Battle in the Valley show, Mercedes Moné, and this shift to more live content will generate more interest in the brand moving forward, and I think certainly it will help. Let's talk about the Ring of Honor World Championship. Yes, Ring of Honor. Yes, the World Championship. And yes, the World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli. He will be in action tonight on Dark Elevation, and he'll be defending his Ring of Honor World title on the show. A championship match has been announced for the 100th episode of AEW Dark Elevation on Monday, January 30th, that being today. On the 100th episode, which was filmed on January 25th, 2023 in Lexington, Kentucky, Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli will face Blake Christian. Elsewhere on the show, fans will see Red Velvet versus Billy Starks, Roosh versus Brian Pillman Jr., Top Flight versus Ari Daivari and Tony Nese. Also in action will be the Kings of the Black Throne, Dark Order, Athena, and the Workhorsemen. Now, again, spoilers, they're going to be out there, certainly, but we won't spoil them here. Now, AEW Dark Elevation broadcasts on YouTube at 7 p.m. Eastern. The show debuted on March 15, 2021, and features matches that are taped before and after that week's episode of AEW Dynamite. The commentary team for the show are Paul White and Matt Menard. AEW Dark Elevation, of course, is itself a spin-off of AEW Dark, and Dark began broadcasting on AEW's YouTube channel in October of 2019. But certainly a big match. Wouldn't expect a title change. Again, I don't even know the spoilers, but I'd be very, very, very surprised if we saw Blake Christian as the Ring of Honor World Champion now. Who knows what could happen in the future, though. Finally, an injury to Willow Nightingale meant she had to pull out of an previously announced independent event. An AEW star has suffered a minor injury that will prevent them from being cleared to compete at an independent show. Of course, Willow Nightingale has become a popular rising star on the All Elite Wrestling roster, but she is also still active on the independent wrestling scene, as many AEW talent are. Nightingale was scheduled to face Ichiban at Beyond Wrestling Might Snow on January 29, but it seems plans have changed. In a tweet on January 27, Beyond announced that Willow is currently not cleared to compete because she suffered a, quote, non-wrestling related injury. However, the promotion did announce that Nightingale will still appear on the show. Beyond tweeted, quote, breaking, due to a non-wrestling related minor injury, Willow Nightingale is not medically cleared to compete this weekend. Willow will still be appearing at Might Snow this Sunday afternoon in Worcester. Again, that was yesterday. She did appear. We are working on finding a new opponent. She also responded to this saying, quote, sorry I won't be able to compete this weekend, but I'll still be around to see you all lovely people in Worcester. Willow Nightingale last competed on AEW television on the January 18 edition of Dynamite in a loss to Toni Storm. Again, it would appear that it's a non-wrestling related injury, whatever that means. So I would assume it's nothing to do with any injury that she suffered on the show. But again, I don't think it's fair to speculate on those kind of things at all. But there you go, guys. That's the latest AEW news. Bit of a quiet day when it comes to AEW news stories, but important to report what is indeed out there. If we get any more news stories later today in the world of WWE or AEW, might drop it. But then there are some days that are just slow news days. And one thing I don't want to do on this channel, and I pride myself to try not to do it as much as possible, at least knowingly do it, is try and report things that aren't true or aren't there, or just fabricate stuff. Sometimes, unfortunately, in this world of YouTube, if there isn't any news, people will just make something up because they've got to do a video that day or they've got to get views. That's not what we want to try and do on this channel. We want to just report what's out there. If there's nothing out there, there's nothing to report. We'll do a video like this that's a little bit shorter and say, hey, there's nothing to report, there's nothing out there. When there are big and busy new days, you might get videos like before, the day, I think it was yesterday, where we had a 30-minute WWE news video because there was just so much news. Some days, there might not be as much. So that's what we like to do here on the channel, guys. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Let me know your thoughts on the AEW news stories in the comment section below, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.